G'day everyone, it is PSGD here, brought to you by the Power of PlayStation Share Factory. And tonight, during this video, I just wanted to have a little bit of a chat about PlayStation Neo and what I think about it, what I've heard about it, what we know about it, and generally speaking, what's been written in the media about it at the moment. Now, we know that Andrew House confirmed just before E3 2016, so about 2 weeks ago now, that the existence of the PlayStation Neo was absolutely a thing, right? He confirmed that it was there, but gave us no more relevant details as to if we were going to hear about it, what it was, etc. And, you know, it's gotten me thinking a fair bit about the PlayStation platform and where they're going with it. And probably one of the biggest and first points that I want to make about Neo is just the fact that we're only 3 years into the life cycle. Now, when we were 3 years into the PlayStation 3, which would have made it 2010, we were starting to talk about a Slim. So my initial thoughts about Neo were just the fact that they would more than likely look at the hardware, shrink it a bit, maybe even change its form factor slightly. I mean, it's relatively small as it is, and pretty thin compared to its competitor in the Xbox One. And I thought that they might reduce the size of it, which would be pretty standard. They might have put a bigger hard drive into it. We did see that through the PlayStation 3 Slim. But aside from those two factors, I didn't really expect anything else. Now, there was a study done recently, I can't remember the exact one, but you can have a bit of a Google, stating that 4K TVs were actually on the rise in the US, like 180% or something or other. And it made me think that if they outputted or incorporated a 4K port onto the back of the PlayStation, then maybe that might meet that market, because the adoption rate in the US for 4K TV is a lot higher at the moment. But in saying that, I mean, we haven't seen nor heard of anything happening at this stage with regarding 4K games. I mean, I still often read regularly about developers struggling to get to 60 frames a second at 1080p, right? So 4K gaming seems like a long way away. One thing that I did notice recently, and it was in the Xbox One Slim announcement trailer, which is about a minute long, that the 4K services offered on that particular console were more to do with Netflix. So, I mean, if there's a 4K port there, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be 4K gaming, right? It just means that they might have Netflix 4K on there. Now, coming off the back of that last couple of comments, and particularly with the Xbox One Slim, I want to highlight something that I think Microsoft did well at E3, and that was they brought their hardware to their conference. They said, we'd been reading for a couple of months, right, that there was probably a new Xbox and there was probably a new PlayStation. But Xbox took their Slim to the conference and they said, hey, look, 4K port, 2TB drive, redesigned controller. And I think they put it out there, right? They got it out in the open. There's no more rumor/innuendo about it, and we kind of knew where Xbox were going. But the one that I think caught everyone off guard was the Project Scorpio, right? And that was sort of a little bit, I don't know, I don't think many people actually saw that one coming. And that one really caught me off guard personally, because, again, we're 3 years into the platform. Now, some people on the page would probably argue that this is a bit of consumerism, and I'm talking more about Neo when I say that. But, like, in my own personal PSGD opinion, releasing details, very minimal details about something like Project Scorpio is absolutely alienating some of their consumers right now. I mean, if I had an Xbox One right now and I was an Xbox nut, I'm thinking, right, well, so how inferior is my console at this point in time? Is it worth investing anything more onto it? And I'm just going to go buy something else. Like, let's not forget that the 360 and the PS3, we got a lot of time out of those consoles. I mean, we're coming into its 10th year next year, so we're at 9 years at the moment. And I think that was a bit of a bad move. I don't know. I think that one probably caught Sony off guard. No doubt Sony would be developing the PS5, despite what you read in the media. Their R&D teams, tech development teams, they would be working on stuff at the moment. Whether or not that ever sees the light of day is a much different issue. But that sort of brings me to the other side of where Neo sits, and I don't know. I don't know about Neo. Like, I originally thought that Neo was just going to be a Slim, to tell you the truth. I thought that they'd just reduce it, put a 4K port on it. It probably wouldn't even sell that much. I even had the idea that maybe they'd integrate, the PlayStation VR power unit that we see in all the pictures beside the headset. I thought they might integrate that. But clearly that's not the case. So that's kind of where I think PlayStation may have gotten it wrong, and I have two trains of thought. The PS4 is very powerful and it's selling very well at the moment. Why would they even bother looking at new hardware, or thinking about new hardware, or publicly saying that they're going to release new hardware next year? I don't really know. But like, one thing that is really, really certain is that at the moment it's just like a lot of rumour and innuendo, right? And I really do encourage you just to kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy the platform for what it is now. And sure enough, when Neo does get announced, like, you can do your own analysis there then. And that's what we'll do on PSGD as well, so stop by the page and check it out. But anyway guys, look, I've run out of time. I could keep rambling on about this stuff for ages, but chill out with your PS4s, hey, and enjoy it. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and as always guys, until next time, enjoy the PlayStation gaming.